Probably like this. Hello. It's SDR, Super Desperation Radio. And if you can tell,
that was the worst intro ever.
By the sound of my voice, I am not the most excited today. Had a very tough loss yesterday to the indomitable Seattle Seahawks. And yeah, just trying to get past that.
The tip heard around the world?
The tip heard around the world, man.
Yeah.
And then the heel promo heard around the world?
Oh, no.
That all of white Twitter got really angry about.
Were they really that mad?
I don't know.
I guess
I heard things. I didn't actually see a lot of hate on Twitter myself, but I heard things.
I know I threw some shit on them, but it wasn't like... It was just like, this guy's stupid.
I thought it was a pretty decent pop-off myself.
It was good.
I mean, it seemed like it was valid because, like, I actually checked out Crabtree's Twitter after that, and he was going like, "Look at the film. Is there anything that shows that this guy is the best? I don't think so. He's a phony."
Yeah, I definitely did see that.
So I'm like, "Oh shit, this must have been like years in the making." I guess I don't know.
No, if you read anything about it, Sherman said that Crabtree had said something to him in the off season before the season. So he's saying that this was the payoff. This was the payback to that.
They played 3 times.
I'm not trying to make this up.
They played 3 times. He's like, "This is for what you said like 6 months ago."
Apparently, he said something even before the season started. Wow. Before they even played.
Yeah, he said something. Supposedly, it's before the season started, and shortly before the game, there was or this week leading up to the game, there was some Twitter exchange between the two.
Okay, that makes more sense.
I don't know anything about that.
Hey, whatever. It's good for football. It's good for America. Not good for San Francisco. But other than that, we got a pretty good show lined up for you today. Some announcements, some coverage of certain things that happened over the weekend, and this dog.
There's a dog?
There's a dog, apparently, and her name is Kokinoe. And once she bites you, she doesn't let go.
Isn't Kokinoe cat?
She's a cat.
She's a cat. Well, cats don't really bite and not let go. You guys are ruining my whole simile thing here.
So you mean to tell me she plays with you like a ball of yarn?
I guess that could also be it.
I don't know. I don't think about it.
It's like you're the ball of yarn, and she's like the cat that's been like watching all those CBS2 videos with Balrog, and she's like, "No escape!"
If you really want to keep up with the Shroud, it'd be like her messing with the cornered mouse. You know how they like to play with their food before they go in for the kill, and then when she gets that meter, bam! But,
Oh man.
So clearly Chris doesn't know what's going on.
No.
And I missed the news about this, but Walkman, you have looked at the videotape, correct?
Yes.
So is it as bad as Twitter blowing up about it is? Is this a real thing?
Personally, I think it kind of is. Essentially what it is that if you do like a rocket punch knockdown to someone in the corner, and you don't have meter to do a black hole setup, you can still a block string that will build enough meter and hold them in place until you can do a black hole setup and tear them apart.
So it's not a true block string infinite. It's more of just a block string until you build enough meter to do an unblockable.
I'm not sure if it isn't infinite. It looks like it is. I think certain characters can get out by DP, or if they have enough meter, they can, like dead angle out of it. But what it seems, it's really oppressive, and you have to like burst or spend a resource. Like you have to really deal with it, just like anything else that you would have to go against her. So it just kind of adds a little bit, impossible to defeat or anything. But it's just a good character who people are already having problems with this block setup, and now she has this too. So it's annoying. And I mean, think about it. You can even do like mix-ups at the whole time. So
yeah. Okay, here we go. We got a little videotape.
Got some feet on it, and yeah, it's looking pretty nasty. And I gotta say, this is very reminiscent of some stuff that Gibby does to me in Mark of the Wolves.
Yeah. See, even with the barrier, you doesn't push you out enough. And
wow.
But I'm assuming you can dead angle it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But just like even like a regular black hole setup, certain characters can get out with meter, but you just have to have the resources. At least luckily you'll get meter when getting hit by this, but it's a tough one.
My thing with this is it doesn't show how much meter she gets.
It does right here.
From doing this. Oh, it does? Okay.
Yeah, if you start to watch from the beginning here, you get to see
okay.
the
I see. Oh, wow, yeah, it builds a decent chunk of meter.
You're a decent chunk of meter.
It builds that. Wow, every rep it builds almost a quarter bar, it looks like.
Yeah, about... Yeah, it looks like it builds about 45% every rep. 45%.
Well, I think 45% of a bar, not quite.
Of a mini bar, yeah.
But it's an interesting thing to see. Obviously, I hadn't seen it until just right now. I'd only heard everything, about Twitter blowing up. So
that's bound to happen.
Hard to say. I'm not gonna pass judgment. I will say this looks really bad for the future of this character in tournaments. Not gonna lie.
Like this, I honestly feel this is the worst thing so far that I've seen for the character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That everyone's talked about. Like everyone, Kokono is so powerful. She's broken. She's the best. She's won two to four tournaments, I think, so far, all in the past month. And I saw nothing impressive until this. It's like, oh shit, this is, it's pretty bad.
This is a big deal, honestly. I think this, pushes the envelope a little too far. It's time to take Kokono off the table, in my opinion.
The question I have though is is she going to be the only character that has something like this?
Yeah, who knows who else has it in the game because of the mechanics. But
I'll say this: I feel like if there had been something like this for somebody else, that's not a DLC character. I'm gonna put that caveat right there. In the year plus that we would have had the game, somebody would have found it in Japan.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's my honest opinion. Now, that doesn't mean anything because there's been a lot of things that have been found a lot later in games, but
yeah,
I feel like the only other characters who could have it, honestly, are Kagura and Terumi. And
that could be just
nobody's
as bad.
found anything even remotely. I mean, they're both considered really poor characters right now.
Mediocre at best.
Yeah.
I thought Kagura was decent, but I guess maybe...
Kagura does good damage, but at least according to the Japanese, he's very weak. They put him at maybe B at best.
Like
perhaps
about
the top
that
of B,
character?
not necessarily B minus, but they say his mix-up is really weak. His options to get in are horrible, and his damage just can't make up for either of those.
He's definitely once he's in, hope you baited the burst and then you won the round kind of character. Because his damage is relatively high off of most anything, and his setup with that miniature ever-growing larger projectile that travels a really good distance is really good pressure, and he has a semi-decent mix-up because he has a hard-to-see overhead. It's just like a little elbow twitch, and it looks like one of his stance transitions, but try getting in on a Kokonoe who just gravities your ass wherever you want, or having laser swords shoved down your throat the entire time.
Oh, well, good enough for me.
So what do you say? We ban her or what? What's the vote here?
Did you guys mention how even the built-in system mechanic to this game works in her favor? Like how if you're forced to block for a certain amount of time, it just starts auto-instant blocking for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She can just kind of gauge how much meter you're going to get and just actively kind of bait out a dead angle from that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, they're about to get 50 from the automatic. I'm just going to, jump right here or RC any normal I did.
I mean, realistically, you'll probably build enough meter to not really have to deal with that if you're playing it right. Just be like, it's black hole time.
Yeah, that's also true.
I mean, I don't play it, so I can't really tell how bad it is. Personally, it looks like some Kevin Ryan bullshit, but nothing's that bad. Nothing is that bad.
You can't. If
No.
he does it right,
You can't.
if he does it right, you're done.
Yeah.
I do have to admit that even if you get the meter, counter assaults are so bad in Blaze.
Yeah.
Dead angles are bad enough in Guilty Gear as it is, and I feel like they're actually worse in BlazBlue. So I don't even, in a lot of cases, I don't even feel like that's it.
At least Banks is good, right?
I guess. I don't even think it's that good. It's just fast. So I'm not gonna make the decision right now and say yes. But right now it looks like yes. It looks like as of right now this character needs to go. This to me is the straw. The straw that breaks the back.
Yo, this is the straw.
Because when Cabal had the block infinite in MK9, that was when he should have been banned. They quote unquote fixed it, and he's still god tier in that game to this day.
Good shit.
Cyrax, who might actually be competing, given the fact that they've nerfed Cyrax, I think 50 times, and he still does 100% in certain situations.
Yeah.
So, but that's what happens when you create a character who has unblockables. Unblockables into combos. I would have played that character if I kept playing MK9. Cyrax for the win. That character's awesome.
And one of the issues I have with characters who have infinite loops of any kind is a lot of people say if you limit it to the player can only do 2 reps or 3 reps, that'll solve the problem. But I still think I personally feel that's complete shit.
Remember when they did that for Steve Fox, and they said you can only do the sway loop, and you could do 2 reps of the sway loop, and then you had to do whatever combo afterwards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? Whatever combo afterwards killed.
Yeah.
Because the sway doing 2 reps of it did like 50 on its own. Like, this is one of those really similar things. It's like, oh, she gets to do 2 reps, and then guess what? She can probably black hole you by that point, or stop completely and go back into doing 2 reps because she did it off a throw again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw down the 95% sure she should be banned at this point because of all this. Especially if they don't address the issue. 'Cause, if there was a patch, that'd be cool or whatever. But what can they really be doing at the point? And at the same time, maybe there's that really small this character's broken because she can do all this, but maybe there's also some gigantic programming error where everyone else has 100% on her. Once that's discovered, it's like, oh wait. But in reality, it's probably not gonna happen.
I don't think
It's
so.
a little late for that.
Maybe, but
like some melty blood kind of thing here. It's like,
Yeah,
this
exactly.
character's really, really good. And you can do 100%, but everyone can kill
we're
him.
gonna get the counter argument, the Marvel 2 Sentinel counter argument, which is everybody gets infinite on this character if she's standing still, and you get a 1 in a million hit. No, it's not a balance. Last time I checked.
Yeah,
So-
it doesn't matter what negative defensive options she has. She still has this, and that's not going to change unless they patch it out.
Like, one of the things that's been really popular with, drawing comparisons to other broken characters, there's not that clear of an analog for this. Because what other character controls gravity like that?
Yeah.
Or movement in general? The only thing I can think of would be like a spiral block infinite, but then after a while people figured out you push block this set of swords and you super jump, and hey, suddenly almost every character in the cast has an immediate answer to the problem.
Yeah.
In this game, barrier and instant blocking doesn't do
actually
much.
hurts you sometimes. Well, barrier actually hurts you in this situation because it makes so you can't move. Even though you're trying to push her away, you're actually not helping your own situation. Instant block is great. Perfect block is probably your best bet. But if you can perfect block everything, I don't think Kokonoe is the problem. I think the fact that you're a deity, you don't have to worry about this character anymore. So,
Yeah. It's like, oh no, man. I'm not really gonna worry about all of this because I'm a human TAS machine. I can just do everything perfectly.
I just frame barrier and instant block every move in the game. I'm in there.
A nickname programmable pad.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what you're talking about. I only use a Cronus sometimes.
Right?
I have control over time, and I am able to make accurate reads in every situation.
You do that Prince of Persia where you like rewind time, like, oh, got in the block screen, time to spin the sand to get out of this and come up with another idea.
Oh, Prince
Not playing David Serlin's Street Fighter 4.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, get rid of the ultra bar and just have the time rewind bar.
But yeah, right now, it doesn't look good. It does not look good for Kokonoi players.
Hey, if you can't play Kokonoi anymore, go pick up like Rachel. She can kind of do similar things.
We have a month until SCR. I'm gonna suggest that all y'all pick up Taukaka or Valkenheim.
Yeah.
just
No, man,
saying,
Aquaman.
they're just as broken, but
A little bit nicer to deal with. I don't know. Like I've seen
Well,
Taukaka videos, and I'm just like, that
I
looks.
actually suggested to Josh that he picks up Taukaka because Taukaka has the same annoying hitbox, she has the same low profile, and she has the same you can never get her off you problem. The thing about Taukaka is that she actually has to be on you the entire time. She doesn't get to stand full screen and go, wee, I can win.
Right.
But,
That's why you play Rachel.
yep. That's the thing. That's your options. You can play Taukaka or Rachel. Or you can play
You just can't play both.
Taukaka-Rachel hybrid. Kokonoi is no longer illegal.
Well, I think Winter Brawl or SCR is going to be the first tournament that will determine whether or not she's banned.
No, I agree. And I think we'll find out in the next few days, honestly.
Yeah,
because I
Vi
think
is
people are going to sit in the lab with this.
the thing I like about Via for this SCR, he's been very vocal, taking a lot of opinions from the community on different games, different characters and rule sets. So I'm sure he's going to take this into account, and we'll see how it goes. I honestly feel the majority of the BlazBlue scene will want her banned. Like just because, like we've been trying to get her banned for over a month, 2 months now.
Well, pretty much since she got released.
Yeah, I say that because I have no idea when the game came out. I
Yeah,
forgot.
it was October.
Oh, okay, wow. Earlier than I thought.
My thought is this: I would normally, and I've been saying no, I don't think she's going to get banned. This legitimately gives me a lot of pause because this is one of those things that you can verify pretty quick. Like, is this legitimate in terms of can characters get away from this? Can they not? If you're going to tell me that, more than basically 2 characters can't get out of this and they just get black holed for free, I think we have a problem.
Mhm.
Because I don't want a game that eliminates characters from the selection screen the minute somebody gets picked.
Yeah.
And I'll say this straight up, I don't give a shit what Japan thinks. I would prefer that we play a game that everybody has fun playing.
Yeah.
I give a shit what Japan thinks.
Oh.
Nobody
Yeah, no one cares what you
problem.
say. Yeah.
Back from the
Oh,
dead.
from the woods.
Wait, did somebody come out? Is that a Kelly? A wild Kelly has been spotted in the background.
Welcome back.
Poking my head out of Final Fantasy 14. I'm here for literally 5 minutes.
Only 5 minutes.
No, I'm not. I'm here. I'm here for real. For once.
So, I don't know. I don't think Kokonoi is long for this BlazBlue tournament season.
No, but she's going to be a very good combo video character, I think.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's okay though. That just means that gives Arxis another reason to make another BlazBlue because they got to fix Kokonoi.
And I think Tony had the best suggestion by putting in another cat by the name of Jubei that everyone seems.
Animals are already clearly overpowered in this game.
Yes.
I'm
Daddy's
waiting
back.
on Jubei right now, actually. I'll be honest with you. When Jubei comes back and is the most brokenest character in this game, I'm going to switch from Hakumen, who's only slightly broken, to Jubei.
So the way, like, pardon me for bringing up the lore, but he's obviously
Lord.
the strongest in the universe, right? So is he just going to be like Gold Johnny, where every slash or every misfinder is an instant kill?
Yeah, no, he's supposed to
Obviously.
be like the most powerful being.
Yeah.
He's the bee. Like,
Maybe they That
Like,
could be
what if like Taukaka beats up Jubei? Like, there's some huge like lore contradiction that I don't want to deal with. I don't know about you.
All I'm saying is that they never actually specified what they meant by powerful. What if he's politically powerful, like shadow government style?
No, this dude killed the beast though. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he put in all the dough that had the beast like chained up.
So we're gonna stop listening to
He
Chris.
funded
Chris is
the
clearly an
operation. You
idiot.
guys misheard them. He funded the operation.
Clearly,
No?
Chris
This guy's
has no
balling.
idea what he's talking about. So let's talk
Hey,
about.
I'm
what-
the one that reads Japanese here.
oh my god.
Oh
Ellie
lord.
does too.
There's gonna be a fight. There's gonna be a fight. So here's what my question is. Obviously, Jubei has paws. Can he hold the sword, or does he have to always hold it in his mouth?
What if he
God
holds
damn
in
it.
his tails?
How do you know he
Oh,
doesn't
he has a
have
prehensile
claws?
tail. Is that the argument now?
He has 2 tails.
He has 2 tails. What if
That's
he
true,
like
does.
wields it in his tails? Oh my god.
So,
Just saying, his stand A won't be like that great. Maybe like each hit will do like through 500 damage or whatever. but the more you hit with stand A, the more it prorates up. So it's like 200, 300, 400%. And then when
Is
you
he
hit
gonna-
your
Is he gonna be a
Yo, what
stance
if-
character? Is
What
that
if like his current form isn't like his real form? Like his real form is like this huge like cat beast, and because he like killed the beast, he like. Oh man, I'm thinking they should just hire me. I'm just gonna start writing.
Dear Mr. Arc System.
Yeah, exactly.
Mr. Arc.
I have a problem with your lore. Correct. This.
producer Mori, I have a good
They'll
idea.
list me in the credits as keeper of the lore.
It's like, please, for your consideration, my headcanon.
Dear Sir or Madam, Jubei destroys all. Thank you, K.
Dear Sir or Madame, I have enclosed a sketch of what I believe Jubei truly looks like.
Wow.
Just like a stick-figured like lion with a sword,
sword.
just like arbitrarily sticking out of it.
It's just a picture of like Simba, like
He's
with
got
tags.
Cloudbuster sword, and it's a stick figure with cat ears.
so speaking of
Original
cats,
character, do not steal.
yeah. So, since we're on the subject of cats, I'm sure all of you heard NCR got announced last week.
Oh yeah.
How is that on the subject of cats?
Exactly. So NCR got announced. It's gonna
And it's
be
on Anthony's favorite holiday,
yes.
Yeah, my birthday,
20.
and then that other one.
Yeah, so it's gonna be
birthday, quote.
That's not my birthday. It's a little before it.
NCR is going to be April 18th to the 20th or it's going to be in Sacramento, which is a first for NCR because it's not going to be in the Bay Area.
That's true.
So
But-
it's
Sacramento, Sacktown.
But the thing is, from what I've heard, and Gibby, you did a little bit of research in this, is for people coming from, at least from SoCal, that it's really not going to be any longer for us of a drive, which is good.
Well,
But-
maybe.
Honestly, I think it's shorter, but that's
For a
because-
lot of people, I've heard from a lot of people in NorCal, that's a sticking point, the fact that it's in Sacktown.
Yeah, it's about 2 or 3 hours out of here.
No way.
From San Francisco?
Yeah, from San Francisco.
Nah, man, it's a drive, dude.
It's like an hour 45 at most.
No way. It's
Yeah.
more- it's more.
I believe me. I drove that way.
First of all, I'm explaining for you why it's not just an hour. You live in a town that has no traffic at all.
Let me explain to you
God
that
bless.
when I went down to SoCal like a year or two ago, I had to go up to Sac from where I lived and then back down to San Francisco, Oakland area.
Why?
And then go down because I had to pick up people. And on the way back,
What the fuck
I had
is
to take practically a 9-hour drive just to get home.
That sounds like
Actually
you need to
would've
learn how to say just say no, man.
I mean, I was gonna drive my
know what?
car, but it wasn't good
You know
enough.
what
So
I'm gonna say is I'm gonna say that Anthony is too nice, and Chris is too lazy.
Which one of
the
us
only
is saving
thing I
on
got out of
gas?
that conversation right there.
that being said,
Chris is like, I can't drive 2 hours. Meanwhile, the rest of us driving 6+ hours up to NorCal, and Chris is sleeping in the back of somebody's car every time he comes down to SCR.
Yes. It's not because I'm tired. It's usually because I'm hungover.
Wow. You're not making yourself look better here, sir.
Hey, man, I rode down there with 4 guys that didn't speak English.
I think that's a lie. That's a complete lie.
No, it's not a complete lie. I was okay. They're all immigrants basically, right? They're all cool people and whatnot, but they're all like here from another country. And so basically, I'm just gonna let you know right now.
You know what, Chris, you're being offensive. I'm gonna cut you right there.
I'm just gonna fucking say that if we got pulled over by the cops, I'd be the guy to have to talk to him, and that was bad because I was drunk.
Wow, that's wow.
Oh,
So imagine how stressed out I was.
0 days since a racial incident. Sorry, guys.
Well, now we got to tell Mr. I Play Winner, you fucked up.
Yep. Yet again.
I'm just saying. That's like it was really trying on my patience and my nerves.
Oh, you being racialist was trying.
No, I'm talking about driving down to SoCal.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying, man. I'm broke, but I got services, man. I can drive the whole way.
That's true.
But
But the fact
I
that
think the important thing
and it smells
is
like poop.
ignoring Chris's racialism. This is at a Holiday Inn, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
It actually doesn't look that bad.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I was looking at some of the pictures of it. It's not too bad. I would say probably the biggest problem we're going to run into is the fact that everything around there closes at 10 o'clock. That's so I've been told.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
but
is Sacramento, though.
The good thing about it, even though everything closes around 10, there's still things around. Like you have restaurants, you have like place to go, things to do. Unlike every other NCR I've been to, where it's away from everything. It's just nothing to do at all.
I mean, there are things to do in Sacramento if you have the drive, you have the car, but a lot of people are going to be getting rides from other people and just going to be stuck in a hotel, and maybe it'll be worth their while. There'll be a lot going on in the rooms and whatnot. People can play casuals and stuff, but as far as like going out and maybe getting something to eat, who knows?
Well, I honestly
Man, are we not going to have the ever-present Denny's?
I think
There's
we're
always Denny's.
I'm over Denny's, man.
You're over Denny's, but I'm right there with Denny's. You need to stop hating.
Me and Denny are like.
What I want to say though is that, and this is honest, is that most times I go out to a tournament and I end up staying in the hotel or the hotel area. So legitimately, I don't think it's going to be a huge problem for most people coming up. I think for myself and people I'll probably end up traveling with, we're not really going to be leaving the hotel too much, unless it's literally to get Denny's.
Yeah. And that's all I can really like. We can always map quest it and just try, because I'm probably gonna end up driving you donks around anyway.
For me, the big deal is that unless I can find some cheap or free, I'm probably gonna be driving an hour there and back every day.
Oh God.
That'll be devastating. But
See, that's the one thing I'm missing. I can't go home.
I like this dude Anthony is on the cast with us. And yet he doesn't actually think to ask us to stay in our room.
Well, I mean,
well played, sir.
I'm just weighing my options. I'm throwing out there, people out there.
bye.
I'm a very needy individual, but all I need is like maybe like 6 square foot of ground, just somewhere off in the corner. That's probably good enough.
Sayonara, as they say.
Are you leaving?
Should we go back to Final Fantasy?
Yep.
Oh, rip.
I'm just gonna say this right now. That game sucks.
Wow!
Oh my God! You're supposed to be gone.
No, hold on. We have on the show finally
We fight.
2 MMO enthusiasts.
I'm just gonna say, like, how could you not be playing Terra Online?
How could you be playing Terra Online?
Because I like good games, probably.
Oh my God!
All right, I want to have an impartial vote, and by that I'm going to call up Gibby.
We keep it.
Final Fantasy 14, yes or no? I want to get an answer for you, but before that, I want to let you know that right now there's currently a Dragon Quest event.
I know.
So
You're not getting to get an impartial answer from me. I want to play with a golem and all that stuff on my side.
Hold on.
all right, Dragon Quest 14 wins. Dragon Quest, wow.
So I do nothing but walk around and hit on cat girls all day. Your lives are all terrible.
Here's the real thing. All right, so Chris is talking about some game I don't know about, and I probably don't care about. And Kelly is talking about some game I know I don't care about. So, whose game is actually...
The one with hot cat girls who I hit on all the time. Like, Jesus, how hard is this?
I'm going to say the best game is clearly the one that, like, actually lets you play the freaking game.
What? I play the damn game all the time. Like,
No, you don't play anything. You sit there and you wait for your character to do something, and if it works, you're like, great. If it doesn't work, you're like, damn, I need better
Are you
dice.
talking about Final Fantasy 11? Because this is like really different.
I'm talking about 14 because I played in the beta, and it's exactly the same shit. I played Terra, and I'm like, wow, man, I'm really into this, man. Like, I'm attacking this guy, and I'm dodging because there's actually hitboxes and hit detection and everything, and you got to aim your strikes, and it's just really
you
fast.
have to dodge in 14.
Dodge, flee, maybe. I'm talking about actually dodging actual attacks and then getting in close. It's like a fighting game.
No, you dodge actual attacks. Like, they shoot shit at you, and you have to run out of the way of it.
It's not the same.
Which beta did you play?
Not the same. I did play.
Oh my god.
With the beta before release.
Yeah. Which beta? They were like a bunch of betas, and they were like changing things throughout them.
And I played the last one before release.
I don't believe you.
What, the re-release? The Realm Reborn?
There were at least 3 betas for FF14. I know.
I don't know. I played it for like one day. I was like, fuck this shit. Going back to Terra.
I have one question.
Like the best thing about Terra is being an Amani Berserker.
Every time you say I'm going back to Terra, I just think of Gone with the Wind, and I don't think you want me to think about that.
No, that'd be pretty terrible. Terrible.
Oh,
got him.
All right, guys. Real quick,
Berserkers,
I guess we're having some technical difficulties, so I'll be right back.
We're actually just gonna have Kelly and Chris fight off screen.
I'm just saying, like you can only in one game can you be an Amani Berserker. You are a descendant of a dragon race,
Chris,
and you carry a giant axe. You guys can hold on. I'm gonna mute you guys and tell these people about Terra real quick, okay? In this game, you can be the descendant of a dragon race, and you were once enslaved by giants, and you just become like this super powerful, like you're just the best fucking thing ever, basically. Oh, they're calling me back, shit. And then you're just like, you get this giant axe, and you can spin around like a top and multiple attacks, and there's combos and shit, and there's blocking, and there's parrying.
There's combos in 14. Like, where's Ben?
Man, I'm talking about Terra right now. We're not talking about Final Fantasy, whatever. We're talking about terrible Terra. I like that.
Wait, did you just call your own game bad?
This game is awesome. Even though I don't play it
I
anymore.
ride around in a
terrible.
Magic. That shit is so hype. Oh my god. I like walk on rooftops and shit, and like lampposts, like places I shouldn't be able to walk in a Magitech. Having a moment.
I don't know, man. Just nothing can replace just being like, hold on, I got an image of my avatar somewhere.
All right. Here's the real question. All right, hold on. I'm gonna do a test really quick. Has either of you played Ragnarok Online?
Oh, I played Ragnarok Online.
Kelly?
No.
All right, so Kelly's game is better. Anyway, moving on.
Wow. You don't even know, dog.
Look, I just have to say.
No, I do know.
You're both huge nerds, and I say this as I am on MagicTheGathering.com looking up Gatherer, trying to remember a particular card. You're both nerds.
Yeah, I think that's accurate right there.
Takes one to know one, nerd.
Just in looking at Magic cards, Alex proved that he had more social graces than either of you.
Look, man, I'm out here just forking counter spells, and
I literally never said I had social grace. Like, if anyone here thought that I had social grace, like, I don't know where the hell you've been.
Just look at that character, man. He's beautiful. You guys can't see it, but the chat will see it in 10 minutes.
Going back to the point at which we so conveniently lost about 25 minutes ago. Sacramento is not necessarily everybody's ideal location, but for most people who are coming from either out of state or out of NorCal, it's actually not that bad. Mm-hmm. A lot of, including myself, I thought originally that was going to be like, this is going to be a problem, but it's really not that bad unless you live in the Bay already, and then I think you're all just whiny.
Well, because there's an airport there, and it's with public transit, it's less than 20 minutes away from the venue. And if you have someone pick you up, it's 10, 15 minutes away from the venue. There's a mall of some kind across the street. There's restaurants all around. The only downside is like what Hellpox is saying with things closing at 10, but I don't really see that being too much of an issue considering people play all night and we can just drive 5-10 minutes to a Denny's.
Well, the last couple of years when we had NCR, everything around there closed pretty early too.
Yeah.
Other than Carl's perhaps and the Denny's down the street, everything.
Wow.
Honestly, I can't name something that was like open all night.
Nothing was.
Burger King.
I just want to interject this really quick. Fixel just pointed out something, and I think NorCal feels the same about this. Like all NorCal, Sacramento is the Lancaster of NorCal.
I have to say, no. That's entirely wrong. I cannot say that.
I have to say that it's kind of a little
That
off.
is really fucking brutal.
Sacramento.
That you are talking about the capital of our great state being equated to that of Lancaster. That is so wrong.
Tony, I have a
Sacramento's got too many black people for that.
Chris, shut the hell up.
Thank you.
How many crack addicts are there in Sacktown?
I don't know.
Because there was a shit ton in Lancaster.
They're probably all meth heads, okay?
All right.
And Sac, yeah, they're probably meth heads.
All right.
I mean, it's too
Or
close.
Vacaville.
we have those here too. I'm just saying.
Vacaville. No, I would say, what was Tony from again?
Yeah, Modesto's
Modesto's probably
Okay,
closer to
look,
Lancaster.
Here's the important part is that look, was Milpitas involved in the song California Love? No. Sacktown, however, was. Ergo, it's better. Moving on.
I think, actually, I just want to say that I think everybody misses the Milpitas location because at least you could get something to eat at 3 a.m. out there.
Which was?
Pho.
Yeah, I was about to say what.
Oh, God, fuck, yay.
Yeah, that's not food.
Man, you guys need to get off my show. Jeez.
Your show.
You can get off our show. Thank you.
Just saying. Talking shit
And
about
go play
pho.
Ragnarok online by yourself.
I will play Ragnarok online by myself because everybody on that game sucks these days. These kids don't even know how to fucking run a party.
You might try to learn to play fighting games at some point.
I can't, man. Too old. Shit's too fast for me.
Old.
My hands hurt.
Well, speaking of old, there's this game. It's kind of old. What is it called? Smash Brothers Melee, I think.
Yeah.
Very
Yes.
old.
Maybe.
This game's pretty old, and
Probably check Wikipedia.
Wait, that's a game?
yeah, it's
People
game.
play that game?
Mhm.
Wait, more than 600 people I hear play that game. last
630 to be exact, in the tiny state of New Jersey. Played the crap out of this game and put on an amazing show.
Apex was, for those who watched it, an amazing tournament.
Mhm.
And somebody pointed this out to me, and I think it might have been you, Gibby, is that everybody at Apex looked like they were having fun.
Yeah.
Everybody. Aside from you two, King, who just looked stressed out. So he legitimately looked stressed out.
Yeah,
like,
no, he did. I pointed this out
like
several
he was
times.
trying to win every game possible, and he did really damn good.
I think he got top 3 in every single game he played.
But
Didn't he say he was going to retire from Melee if he didn't get top 8 at Evo?
He did.
did he?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah, I remember
But-
seeing people talk about that.
But Apex was an amazing tournament. I wished I had actually gotten time to watch more of it. I was busy most of the weekend, but it was so good.
Mhm.
And it made the Smash community look exactly the way that we've been talking about them since Evo. They looked like the most well-managed. They had their shit together. Everybody was playing. Everybody was having fun. Everybody was just yelling and getting excited about the game. And I can't think of anything bad that happened. That I saw, at least. There might have been stuff that I missed. And like I said, I didn't see the whole tournament. So, but
I mean, that just sounds like a lot like what Melee tournaments tend to go like, where people are just literally going there because they love the game and not because they're looking for some kind of side action. It's literally just about having fun with the game, and that's cool. I think we can do that still.
Well, and the neat thing they did, so they did Smash 64, they did Melee, they did Brawl, then they did Teams for all the games, and then they also did Project M, and I believe they did Teams for Project M as well. Like, I haven't seen, or like, I know Walkman knows a lot about Project M. I know nothing about it, but the bits and pieces I watched of all the other tournaments, it's amazing. Just like it was fun to watch, and I'm not into Smash. Like I'm just not. Evo, like Melee is an amazing game to watch. It's exciting. Brawl, I'll admit, isn't as exciting because it's. I mean, I was watching Meta Knight all over the place. I gotta say that's just like watching Chun-Li in Third Strike. It's like, well, just wait for the crouch medium.
Yeah, I wonder how this is gonna go.
Oh, look, he's floating in. Yep, they knocked him out pretty far. Oh, no, he's floating back in. But it was still pretty exciting to watch. A lot of the comebacks. And Mewtwo King, for all the shit people give him, he's a damn good player. Like, I got to give it up to him. He's a damn good player in Smash.
He just doesn't have the best reputation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much par for the course with us.
And it just...
that's how you know it's a legitimate fighting game.
And it just seems like Mewtwo King's tournament nerves, like he gets the super shakes, and he looks like he's just having an anxiety attack while playing. But
and that's a scary thing to look at, especially if you've ever had anxiety.
Yeah, like that's what he looks like.
When you see somebody having something and you recognize it, you're just, oh, jeez.
Yeah, but he was still winning, and I mean, I guess maybe he performs better under pressure. I don't know. But it was just a great show to watch overall, and I think it got, at most, I believe it had almost 36,000 views. 36 to 40K views.
Nice.
Which I believe is bigger than most, if not all, majors outside of Evo.
Yeah. Well,
that's not that surprising, though.
Well, most of the tournaments, they were... Man, from what I heard, all the tournaments had really good numbers. Evo type numbers.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Melee had 600, but they were talking... The other tournaments were that or more in certain cases. So I don't know. But, you never... Obviously, you hear rumors from people talking at the event, like, I can't believe this tournament had, like, this many. And, it doesn't turn out that it was that many, but...
No, this time it was documented. This isn't some, like... this isn't some random ass KoF tournament where 300 people showed, but in reality there's only like 30 people there. This was legit, and the other thing about this is the Smash guys are saying, "Oh, well, this is just a tip because we have more tournaments coming up that are going to be bigger, that are going to be just as big, if not bigger."
And Jigglypuff, motherfucking Jigglypuff.
Yeah,
gonna go to sleep on motherfuckers. Don't hate. That character has always been my favorite character in Smash, and Sleep is the epitome of awesome when it comes to a fighting game. Juggle into Sleep is the coolest looking thing ever to me. So
you don't want to sleep on Jigglypuff, but Jigglypuff's gonna sleep on you.
Exactly. You're gonna get slept on in return. You hear the ring and you're gone.
Oh my god. But what about like the other stuff that happened, like the fighting game tournaments? I actually didn't hear anything about those.
Were largely very small, other than I believe SF4 and Marvel did okay.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of the Air Dash players, for at least BlazBlue, didn't end up going. I think, from what I heard, that the BlazBlue tournament was only, I think it was less than 16 people.
Damn.
And a lot of them ended up staying home. I guess they didn't feel like it was worth it. So,
well,
I believe Lord Knight was one of the few people who showed up. He won BlazBlue. I don't know what else got ran. I don't know if they ran Persona. I know they ran Guilty Gear, but I think it was only like an 8-man bracket or something like that. I don't know. These are all things that I've heard, secondhand. I can't verify them 100%.
Well, one of the big things that came out of it was Sanford Kelly winning with Oni in Street Fighter.
That's true.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I heard that was super free.
Yeah, like I watched a decent amount of it because it was exciting. Like I have to say, I was enjoying myself while watching Street Fighter. Like, whoa, this is weird. Street Fighter 4, and I'm enjoying it. Holy shit! But Sanford put on a show of pure domination. Like it was amazing what he did. I have to admit, if you didn't watch it, you really need to go back and check it out, or wait for Spooky to put up replays. And this makes what? So we had 2 Vegas win the Street Fighter 4 tournament last weekend, and now Oni.
Yeah.
So
That
this
sounds
is weird. I don't know what to think anymore.
Wait till Evo.
Yeah.
That's all we can do. Everything will be set right or wrong, as it were.
And then King of Fighters.
I heard that was bad.
Well,
Unless you're a Nard fan.
yeah. That's what I was saying. I mean, Reynolds just steamrolled everyone. I didn't get to watch most of it, but
I did.
winners. I believe winners finals was Reynolds and Chris G. Chris G
No.
lost.
Oh yeah, that was winners finals. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's
Chris
right.
G
And
lost and then played against Pachu KOF.
And
who-
Pachu
Yeah.
beat him in losers
Yeah.
finals, right?
Yes.
And then I didn't get to watch Reynolds and Pachu KOF, but I know Reynolds won. So
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Let's check the Twitter. No, he probably did. I know. I saw the tweets.
It was he played Duel On, and Duel On was almost OCVing like almost every match.
wow.
Yeah.
I swear, when that game first came out, you never thought that would ever happen, you know? You were just like, this character is just
Well-
going to be a really good battery. And then,
The thing about Duel On is that he's a good character, but he's like not even like the best or too close to it. It's just I think people just don't know how to really deal with a lot of his stuff.
He's no fair. He can stretch.
That's what I was gonna say. I mean,
But I think that the other thing you have to look at is, what does this say about Reynolds versus the rest of America right now? I mean, you have a guy who we all know doesn't practice right now.
mm-hmm.
The last time I actually saw Reynolds, he was playing BlazBlue. And I actually haven't seen him for a couple of weeks. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's playing games or not. But he went out to Apex and he pretty much blew everybody up. Probably on practice, maybe he might have sat down and practiced a little bit before the event. I would hope so. But
He usually does.
yeah, he does, but it's only got to be a refresher on execution,
Oh, yeah, he's not learning anything new that night. The only time he learns something new is usually, like, right before. Right before the match. He's like, I'm going to try this out. And you're like,
I think it's
"Why?
best that
Why?"
he doesn't learn something new.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I think that just says a lot about the strength of him as a player.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Another thing I like about him is that he's playing all these other characters, and you know that he has like a great grasp on practically the entire cast, if not. So he's totally gone out there and decided to make King of Fighters 13 his game.
Exactly. Now, here's the thing, though. A lot of people have argued that Bala was the exact same way, that he played a wide variety of characters as well. But the thing about Bala that a lot of people notice is that a lot of these characters he played just pretty much had the exact same game plan,
Yeah.
It was just pretty much 1, 2, 3 into whatever derivative combo that character has, and then a repeat. And, so they're kind of like both the same kind of player, except for the fact that I think Reynolds explores more of his character skills than Bala did, or does, because he still plays.
As much as obviously we love to sing the praises of Reynolds and how great of a player he is, I want to say that Chris G making it up there again, like pretty consistently, like you could tell that he didn't know exactly what to do in certain situations, and I think one of the commentators was like, "Oh, it looks like he's trolling," whether he was or not. I'm more than certain he wasn't, but he was jumping around a lot with Ben and Maru and using D. But I think that was literally because. Well, I think it was just because he really didn't know what to do in the situation, but he had a move that he could do reliably and tried to make the best of the situation with what he had. So, I mean, I feel like if he actually had more competition or, way to practice a lot better, he could probably get really good at the
He could
game.
be good, or he's moving out here supposedly, so that plenty of people play.
I feel like people need to understand that sometimes when you look at something, it might be sloppier than you expect, but it's people doing the best they can with the knowledge they have.
Yeah.
I'll give you a quick example. Is that a couple of years ago, I went to Ultimate Fighting Game tournament in Chicago. I played in the ST tournament, and I played Blanca in that game, and I played against the Chun-Li, and this Chun-Li was just playing up back turtle. And I literally didn't know what to do, so all I did was just start jumping short, just jump in. And it was beating this dude, everything he did, and so I would just as he was getting up, I just do jumping short, and it would be because he was kept holding up back, and I'm like, okay, this is working, so I'm just gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's ugly, and you look at it after the fact, you're like, damn, that was really ugly, but it won.
Yeah.
So I think that's a thing people have to look at, where sometimes you just do the best you can with the knowledge you have in the situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Story of my life.
Chris, you never win.
Plus, he made top 3, so if you want to talk trash on him, I mean,
Ooh,
Yeah, exactly. Come see him.
This is yeah. This is my thing with Chris G. People bash him for taking top spots in King of Fighters tournaments, but they don't realize that he consistently takes top 3, top 8 at almost every single East Coast major.
Yeah,
And
every time.
They I see the same thing. Oh, the tournament was crap because Chris G got top whatever. But Chris G's not a bad player at this game. He's not great, but he's not bad either.
Well, he's got good mind. He's got a good mind for it, Like a lot of people have like what I call a game mind and then a fighter's mind, and I think he's got a great fighter's mind where he can adapt to a lot of different situations versus a gamer's mind which can only adapt to that specific game situations.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree with that. And for as much as a lot of people be like, oh, Chris G wouldn't be doing this well if these guys showed up and these guys showed up and those guys aren't showing up.
Exactly.
yeah.
There's a lot of scenes on the East Coast that we've talked about in the past that, these guys are characteristically KoF players in the past or this region, and well, guess what? None of those guys are showing up. So they're irrelevant.
Shout out to the
If you don't leave your house, you're irrelevant. So,
and that's another thing I want to bring up.
Chris G is top 3 on the East Coast, whether anybody likes it or not.
I just wanted to also say, though, obviously we talked about Reynolds and Chris G, but let's not forget Pachu, who did beat Chris G.
That's true.
He's someone who has been out there and consistently supporting his game.
Yeah.
And
Chris
he's
G
showing a lot of improvement.
Yeah, because Chris G plays King of Fighters, but he probably wouldn't even call it his game. It's a game that he enjoys to play, obviously, because he wants to go and play it. But Pachu's out there, and he's doing the best with what he has, and he's showing up to tournaments, and he's showing improvement. Yeah, like he did well against Chris G, and it's not like it was super like blowout versus Reynolds, but it's just probably just lack of knowledge and lack of experience against these things. But despite that, he still makes the effort to go and apply himself and just do the best he can with what he's got, and he got second place. That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pachu, I personally feel, is the best on the East Coast right now. He's a very good player. You see him evolve with every tournament that he goes to, and he just has a pretty good KoF mind, and it really works for this game. I want to see more of him. I'd like for him to come out to SCR, or no, I'm sorry, not SCR, but Evo, because I don't think he made it out last year, and he does know a good chunk of the players that play King of Fighters all over the country.
That's good.
So hopefully we get to see more of him in the next few months.
And speaking of SCR, obviously we're a little bit more than a month away from SCR, and it's going to be interesting to see how the brackets shape up. Because obviously we had about a week and a half to 2 weeks ago, Vi already saying that Anime Air Dashers had already come really close to filling their bracket cap, which was 64 people for games like BlazBlue. I would be interested to see the numbers we pull, because I think we can top that. I don't think we're going to get to a full 128, but I could see a 70 or 80 man bracket for BlazBlue in Southern California.
Yeah, that'd be pretty healthy.
I would say the only thing I'm worried about is King of Fighters, because there's been very little rumbling at all in Southern California about King of Fighters, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything, because the last few tournaments, NorCal, SoCal, people showed up even though nobody was showing up beforehand.
That's true.
Yeah.
Lack of rumblings has really been hurting us. I know that somebody mentioned KoF at the Rumback last week, and I don't know if it actually happened or not, but that's that over there. And the thing about SCR especially is that it usually attracts a lot of international attention, or at least more so than NCR does. You can get some guys coming from Tijuana, Mexico, that area. And so that usually helps boost the brackets a little bit, both in talent and in numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So I think especially from a TO's perspective, that's something you want in your lineup, and because it's always going to deliver at least 40 plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think KoF will get about 70 people. That's just the average for King of Fighters here in California.
Yeah.
The other thing that could be good for it is the Vegas players who last year at NCR played NorCal in the first, or not a first five, it was a 4v4 in KoF 13, which NorCal ended up losing.
Okay.
They challenged SoCal to 5v5 in KoF 13. So we're also working out the details on that, but that should happen. And it turns out that they'd also like to give NorCal another chance. Play 5v5 if NorCal shows up. And it seems Denver or Colorado or wherever, whatever the scene is, they want to play Vegas and possibly SoCal as well.
No, I respect
That'd be
that.
interesting.
Got the Rockies
That's
coming down.
I don't even know who's in Denver, but maybe they're going to show us something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Vegas did.
That's true.
So
I hope they just show up with a case of Coors Light.
you mean the bank of beer?
Rockies!
Oh god.
Somebody plays cooler, just keeps hitting Neomaxes.
Taking a swig
at the same time. He just takes a swig every time it hits.
I think at that
God.
point you got to retire when you get hit by that too many times.
Yeah, because the guy's either drunk and you're losing, man. It's embarrassing. That's
That's the story of your life.
I know when people lose to me when I'm drunk. Oh man, I'm worse than Richard Sherman.
Chris, getting a little crazy, sir.
I know.
I like that. I know.
I really want NorCal to show up to this. It's gonna be like a weird thing for us because we haven't had anything. Like the closest, the first thing I've heard about happening in a long time was Title Fight last night, and I don't know if any of you guys knew it was happening, but I sure didn't. And
I saw actually.
You saw it?
I Play Winter posted a thing about it. There was a memo, if you will, on the site on Thursday, I believe, talking about Title Fight. So.
Okay. And so,
Chris had been paying attention to webs and the interwebs, as it were. You wouldn't
honestly,
know.
I'll tell you the truth. 90% of my time on the internet is spent looking up websites on raising children, so I don't really get to do anything else anymore.
Dear ass Jeeves,
So
what the fuck am I
what Chris
doing?
means is that 90% of his time on the internet is spent on Crunchyroll. And,
Is this showing up on my
and
Facebook
the
shit?
kid just cries in the background. You got it.
I do not let her cry for more than 5 minutes.
So, with SCR, it looks like it's going to be one of the bigger Blaze tournaments, like possibly the biggest anime tournament we've had in the West Coast outside of Evo.
In a long time, I would say. Hopefully.
Yeah, and I really hope.
Obviously, the early numbers are looking good, but you never know.
Mhm.
But I think so.
And King of Fighters, even though it hasn't really been too loud for King of Fighters recently, there could be something going on for
Well,
SCR.
apparently, so this last Thursday at the Run Back, I heard that a lot of Team Chaos is still playing.
Oh yeah, they're still
And
playing.
they're playing all the time. So, make of that what you will. I don't know how many of them are always going to be able to come.
Well, the good thing is King of Fighters, the King of Fighters tournament is going to be Saturday, like all day Saturday. I'm not sure about top 8, but they don't have to worry about showing up Friday. So most of the KoF guys don't really work Saturdays, except for
Yeah.
one or two of them that I know. So just about everyone should be showing.
So here's the biggest thing for those who don't know is that Southern California has all these weekly events, and weekly it's hard to get people to come out for certain games.
Mhm.
But if you put an event monthly or bi-monthly, you start to see the depth of the player base out here. Obviously, this last weekend, for people who didn't pay attention, who don't care about Tekken, we had the Patrick Collins Memorial Tournament, and we got more than 40 people for Tekken Tag 2. I can't remember the last time I've seen that many people for Tekken in SoCal other than the major in a while, at least. Since maybe the game came out. But that's what can happen when you give a lot of players who are busy with life, a date, basically a time to come, a time to play. And so I feel like that's something a lot of people don't understand, is that as the player base for certain games, I feel like this is true for Tekken, the player base for Tekken is only getting older every year.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of those guys, just, they have real jobs, they have families now. Look, I know at least 3 guys who were tournament winners in Tekken a decade ago who have kids now. They just don't have time to play. Even if they wanted to, they can't do it.
Yeah,
So-
it becomes a time issue, and I think we've like talked about that several times about how you get, you grow up and you can't really justify the amount of time you spend on these things anymore,
Yeah, but I think SoCal Regionals could end up being a pretty decent event for Tekken if you get a lot of these guys to come out.
Yeah.
I think it's hard because money can be an issue, time can be an issue, and a lot of other things. But for a lot of these games, you might be surprised at the number of people who actually do leave their houses. Although a lot of people will be like, "Oh man, these games, nobody plays these games on Wednesday night fights and the run back." It's a weekly tournament. Not everybody's still in college. We can't all come out to these events every week.
I know.
That's hard. I think that a lot of people don't quite put the amount of emphasis on that really needs to be there, is that if you work a 9 to 5 and you have to be there until 3 in the morning, it's kind of hard to get up and go in the morning.
Sure, it's hard to stay awake for the damn tournament.
Yeah. I mean, our very own Sanchez doesn't go to the run back anymore because he has to be up and work in the morning on Fridays. You can't do it.
Grown man shit.
I wake up at 6 a.m. to get to work by 9.
Yeah. And
It's
I mean,
no
you have to understand too, is that here's the other thing, is that if it was a small commute for a lot of people, that would make sense. But a lot of people in LA and the surrounding area drive to LA to work. So you're looking at an hour plus drive into work,
Yeah.
which means they're getting up an hour or 2 before the time they actually have to be at work. So if you got to be at work at 8, you're getting up at 6, you're going to bed at 3. That's not happening.
Look,
It's
I
just
can
not
do it,
happening.
but I'm not gonna get on the road and endanger lives by being groggy McGroggerson.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, it's kind of the same thing in NorCal too, because like there's so many people who work late now, because like NorCal stuff stays open forever, so
Yeah.
you can't even get off work to go to these things, and not a lot of these people that are in our scene up here are working jobs that allow you to take time off for certain things,
And I mean, we do have a few guys. I give shout outs to Joshua, Nano, and Delta. Guys in the BlazBlue scene who drive from basically Lancaster and that surrounding area, like a 2-hour drive for the run back every Thursday because they won't play. They probably don't get home until after 2 or 3 in the morning, and I know at least Joshua works the next morning every Friday.
Yeah.
That's rough.
That's dedication, though. And I remember a time I could do that.
It's not even just dedication. Like that's beyond dedication. That's going above and beyond the Call of Duty right there. That's hard.
Right. Well, it's just good to see, because like it actually just shows that he enjoys it. You wouldn't do it if you hated it.
No,
like Brandon
it is-
did it a lot too, and he would bring like a stream setup, and then it just stopped being fun for him. So he was like, "Screw it, I'm just not going to do that anymore."
Yeah, big shout out.
Oh,
to
it's not even Brandon
aka
that's fun
Mild
for-
Wallace, aka Mild Wallace. What'd you
was
say,
it?
Sanchez?
Brandon's got shit to do, man. It's not even a matter of being fun. We all have our fucking limitations and
Well, that's exactly it.
responsibilities.
Yeah, but like Brandon, aka Mild Wallace. Yeah, he put himself out there for a long time, and he did it just because he wanted to support.
Dude,
And
I
it's
remember
hard.
he would go to majors and then be like, "I got to go to work the next day,"
Yeah, exactly, dude.
See, the thing about Mild Wallace, when he was balancing out his time, he knew when it was time for work and time for bodega. That was the thing.
That's true.
And that's something everyone needs to know.
Man, it's always
Right.
time for voting.
Exactly.
Speaking of people making it out to SCR, you can put me on the deconfirmed list because I'm way too broke to do anything.
I swear to the Lord, Anthony, if you don't make it down here, we're going to drive up there and beat you down.
Well, at least a beating will be a lot cheaper than having to pay because I am literally broke.
Wait, okay, so we all know that Chris is going to make it down here. How the heck is you not going to catch a ride with him?
Yeah, you can be on my
Chris is a big ball and he's flying.
Yeah, you can be on my carry-on luggage.
All right.
So unless like a miracle happens or something.
Tony, you're being a negative Tony here. You need to cool it. So you can ride with Chris. You can room in Paul's backyard. I'm just gonna volunteer it myself.
Wow, where is this? Like that, dude. I have hella people in my house already, but maybe
Yeah,
in the
that's why I
It's
said
the backyard.
I got the whole backyard to work with here.
Sorry, man. We got 3 cots out there. It's taken up.
All right. So the rest of it. Here's the deal. I'm gonna make you. That I can't pay for any foodstuffs while I'm out there. Well, I'll make you a deal. I will buy for you meals within a reasonable price. Your daily budget of $9.
A sausage sandwich.
You know what? That's actually a really good budget. I have to be honest with you.
I could just make you mac and cheese
And there's also
It's delicious.
or
But-
cereal.
But the only caveat is that the entire time with SCR, you have to call me Sexy Alex the Pharaoh.
If I can somehow find the ability to get out there.
Chris,
Chris,
right
Chris,
there.
are you actually flying?
Yeah. I always fly.
Who else?
And Chris
Dude,
is
everybody's
weird.
driving from NorCal. Talk to Spirit Juice. Talk to Scott.
Yeah.
He has to
Oh,
be
yeah.
coming from Sacktown. That's like right above you.
I can't pay too much for gas, but I could totally drive
Maybe
the
you
entire
can,
way.
Yes.
Find the way.
Like I'll do it.
You could
I've done
duct
it-
tape your cars together and then
Look,
take
if I have
turns.
to, if you money to take a train or something, I will do that.
We'll figure it out.
You got to make it to
you're
at least
coming.
one
You're
event
coming.
outside of
Look,
NorCal.
hey, I want you to record this. Say you're coming. Say you're coming.
I'm not gonna say anything like that because I
gotta
can't
say it.
guarantee anything like that.
But
That's too bad, man. We could. Well, actually, no, we can't cut promos at SCR. That's rude. But no,
Alex
I think Tony
Tony,
Busting my balls, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
needs
Sorry,
to make it to an
I
event.
had an expense that I had to pay, and I mean now I'm even
It
more.
just so happens that I got slightly extra $70 I wasn't accounting for.
It's extra expenses, man. You gotta lay off them Fabergé eggs.
I found the book bills.
I gotta lay off getting robbed. That's the
same
biggest
thing.
issue.
gotta lay off getting robbed.
So after I found that roll of bills, I did the right thing, man. I bolted to my fucking car and boned this shit out before its rightful owner came back. Now I'm saying you might have been the one that dropped it.
Wow.
I just want to make an announcement really quick. Our good buddy Discount Double Check got the Lena voice pack in Dota 2.
Oh, sick! No, I gotta say that because I got it too, man. It's probably one of my favorite ones.
There you go.
Wait, was it a random drop?
Hell no, I paid money for that.
Oh,
That's where the fucking money went.
Actually,
I got some
I had way too much
uncommon
money
Lena
on
items
Steam
in my
for Christmas. I cannot deny that. I really wish I hadn't.
So you'd rather kick it with Gabe Newell than with us?
Well, to be fair, no, but you know.
I did get some uncommon Lena item you might want. I have to look.
Speaking of our good buddy Gabe Newell, that game Nidhogg came out on his wonderful Steam machine
Did
thing.
anybody play that? I haven't actually touched it myself.
I have.
What do you think?
I honestly like the game. I think that it's a good game. I don't like the price for it, and I also feel that as it is right now, it's been in development for over 2 or 3 years now, and it's a good game. It's fencing, there's parrying, there's some depth to it. But my main problem is that there's like 4 maps, and momentum is really big in the game, which is cool because like you could be losing and then just make an entire comeback run like 5 screens at one time.
How much does Nidhogg cost for those who don't know?
Costs right now it's on sale for $12.
Okay.
But it retails normally at $15.
That is a lot. I won't even
Yeah,
argue.
it's very steep. I've had connection issues where there has been a decent amount of lag, even with people within the state.
Really?
I have a friend who is. I don't know if it's just because of his college internet, but he's currently in Bakersfield, which is only like 3 hours away from me. And it was okay at first, but then eventually there was some really noticeable lag. And then when I hosted it, it's like I was playing in slow motion while I was skipping all over his screen, and it was
Really?
I feel like there's a ton of potential for this game, and I really do enjoy it to its core, especially if you could play it locally.
And this is just through Steam, right?
Yes, it's just through Steam.
That really surprises me that something. I mean, obviously, I don't know what all's going on in the background, but it's such a basic game. You would think that lag would not be an issue at all.
Yeah, it's odd, but I like the game. I can say that at the bottom line, at its core, if I was to play it locally with people, I would enjoy myself. But I feel like they're putting the game out now, and I really hope there for to be an expansion, more levels, maybe like different game types. You know, like you have your standard Nidhogg, and maybe you could have like different types of weapons, or add a couple of new moves later. Touch up the netcode a bit. But for right now, like, if you like these kind of games, I would totally go for it. Like, if you have enjoyed Dive Kick, or if you've enjoyed just like games that you could just sit down with someone and just play and grind out and just have a good time. It's very low execution. It's very interesting. It's a good game, but personally, to me, the price point was a bit high. My friend got it for me, so don't act like I wasted more money on that. but he got me it, and I played with him. He was the one I was playing with online, and I really do want the game to succeed and to do well, but there are still some hangups that I have with it. So take that as you may. Obviously your mileage may vary. Wow, but
Why MMV?
yeah, I really do like the game. It's just it feels like at its price point and for how long it's been in development, it might not be worth picking up so soon. Get it on sale.
So you're saying maybe wait, if you can rent it.
Yeah.
And if you can, wait to buy.
Yeah, but I mean, I still really enjoy the crap out of it. There is some depth to it. Another problem I do have with it that has somewhat to do with the gameplay, I was playing on my PS3 controller, which going through my computer, it registers as a 360 controller. And I even tried it with my stick, and I had the same issue every time, is that my analog sticks on my PS3 controller don't work very well. And I'm assuming that it only uses X input, which means that it uses, what's it called? So maybe if I get X patter, it would help. But when I was using just the regular D-pad, when I adjusted my controls to it, the D-pad on the Xbox 360 controller itself actually, when you push left and right, makes the sword move up and down make you do like a quick step, like forward or back, depending on what you push. But when I was trying to play with just my D-pad, there was no way I could D-map those moves on the controller. So while I was stepping back, I was also lowering my sword, and while I was walking forward, I was raising it. So it was causing some bit of issues for me because the controls were overlapping each other. And I couldn't find a way to get around that other than I should have to get like Joy 2 key or X patter and set it up via keyboard, and then it would work fine. The same with my Hori EX2 stick, because it has the joystick and the D-pad kind of over on the same time. I had some issues. I had the same exact issue. So
can we possibly expect a full review from you about Nidhogg in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I could do that.
Okay. It'd be nice to see.
Mm-hmm. I haven't played much of the single player, but there are some things in there. I see there's like, time rush and stuff like that, trying to get through as many enemies as possible. So, yeah, definitely. I can do that.
Cool. That'd be great to see. I don't know too much about the game other than I've seen a little bit about it. Obviously, looks like stick figure combat to me. I heard there's a fairly deep fighting system on it, but
I also love the graphics, by the way.
Do you?
Yeah. It reminds me of like old Prince of Persia, like rotoscoped character graphics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Also, frog hop is the best move in the game because you can run and roll in that game, and you can jump while rolling and keep momentum, and just like a little short hop. So many times I've just snuck past my friend's sword by doing that. It's great.
That's cool. So, here's a final thing I would like to talk about, which was I saw some slight conversation about a week or so ago, and it was from a certain Filipino champ, and he was trying to set up a money match for SCR. And Mr. Alex Valle said that all the exhibitions have already been taken up for SCR. And I'd kind of be interested to see what everybody's speculations on what those might be.
That's kind of weird because I'm trying to figure out.
Because I can't imagine what they are at all.
Yeah. Like, what's happening right
That's
now
what I want.
that will be worth watching as an exhibition, other than a money match?
The only one that's really public is Chaos versus Justin.
And
We
that's
already know
not
that's
even
happening,
really
yeah.
public yet. That's a complete speculation that everybody just thinks is going to
Okay.
As far as I know, neither Chaos nor Justin have confirmed that. By the way, in case people who do not know what we're talking about, Chaos versus Justin, Marvel versus Capcom 2, first to 10 for perhaps an undisclosed amount of money. That is a thing that's been talked about for basically since Chaos beat Sanford, is what the rumor mill has been speculating. But obviously nobody knows for sure if it's going to happen. It's been speculated a little bit more since the Remix tournament when neither Justin nor Chaos actually participated in the tournament. People, of course, want to spin those wheels of the rumor mill and just say, well, neither of them wanted to play because they didn't want to show anybody anything. But we don't know. We really don't. So...
Let's see. Well, I think it's going to probably tie into something like that showcases different games. So.
Well, right, obviously. I mean, I'm assuming Marvel 2, not Marvel 2, but Marvel 3 and SF4.
Right.
But what are they going to do? That's kind of the interesting question.
Well, we also have to assume that it's not. We can't assume that it's just a one-on-one thing. It could be a team thing. It could be a regional
true.
exhibition, which would be pretty interesting, I think. Because those always seem to go over pretty well, at least at SCR, because they've done that before. I think they'll do a KI exhibition. I don't know if anybody wants to watch it, but...
What I do think is maybe we'll be seeing exhibition for, like Ultra or some other game maybe that's been reaching out to get some publicity, Maybe
Right.
there's that potential as well. Like, some independently developed game might have an exhibition or something that we haven't seen yet, like a beta for some other game on the horizon. That's me, hopeful thinking, because I always like seeing new things coming out.
Well, here's where I think fighting games end up becoming a lot like wrestling, is because when you start running these exhibitions, and classically for us, it's usually been stuff where the matchup has had some heat on it. It's been not necessarily hyped up, but there's been a lot of drama or a lot of talk surrounding it, so that people actually know what they want to see when it actually happens. People are going to tune in and say, I've been talking about this for a month or two, and it's finally happening. I'm going to watch this, right? Kind of going into it blind like this is sort of just, asking them to say, hey, watch this because I'm going to put something on the stream. Yeah. And if it turns out to be interesting, then sure, yeah, people will enjoy it. But if it sucks, I guess... I mean, I'm not saying it would or it wouldn't, but that's the risk you run by just kind of doing it blindly like that. But at the same time, it's not like you can just facilitate heat. It has to happen organically. And unfortunately, I just don't know too much. Right? Well, actually, there's a couple things that could happen that I could think of. But since Filipino champ already tried to set up a money match, that might not be one of them. Because
you think that would be like a big ticket thing right there? It's already taken up.
Because how many will people want to watch Infrit versus Champ again?
Well, I don't think people would want to see that.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, okay, so last year they did the Wednesday Night Fights versus FGTV. There's a possibility of them doing something like that again this year, especially since last year Wednesday Night Fights won. But the thing is that FGTV is not that strong of a product anymore, at least in terms of the usual players on it anymore. Obviously, it's mostly just Champ's show now. So the interesting thing would be, what are they going to do? What's going to really draw people? Because obviously, if they have the exhibitions already in lock, it's something they're confident about.
Well, Via has already announced Team Wednesday Night Fights, and I'm not 100% sure if he announced Team Run Back, but there's obviously going to be something done again.
So,
So they're going to do SoCal versus NorCal again?
I don't know if it's SoCal versus NorCal. All he did was announce that there's going to be a Team Run Back and a Team Wednesday Night Fights.
I'm going to say this.
Team Wednesday Night Fights already been he already announced the players on Wednesday Night.
My guess is this. Apparently, from everything I've heard, Team Control from the East Coast is coming for Marvel. So I'm going to guess Team Run Back is going to be Team Run Back versus Team Control in Marvel 3.
That'd be neat.
So
what's Wednesday Night
that'll
Fights
be
going to be?
interesting. But I don't know what Team Wednesday Night Fights is going to be yet.
I mean, I got a bunch I'd want to see happen, but I doubt it's going to happen. You know.
Yeah. I've
got plenty of ideas. With people that'll probably be there too, you know. But it's I just can't. I'm drawing blanks, man.
No, and I completely agree with you. That's why I was confused when they said, "Oh yeah, all the exhibitions are booked up," and I'm like, "Huh? Really? Already? What are we gonna do?"
Yeah, like
Get a little excited.
Yeah, exactly. I'm kind of hyped. I'm interested to see.
I mean, like, yeah, we knew there was going to be some. Is like, you know, like already, like so soon, and what are we expecting to see? It's just, I mean, I guess now you can just get hyped for the wait. You know what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's true.
The spectacle itself becomes the show.
No, it really does, and it'll be interesting. So, wait, Gibby, you said he announced Team TRB as well?
I don't know if he announced the team, but he did say Team TRB is going to be announced soon.
Okay, but he didn't say who was on the team or anything like that.
No, but he did.
Oh, okay,
he did give the players for Wednesday Night Fights.
Wait, who's the Team Wednesday Night Fights then?
The ones I remember, I think it was Filipino Man, and a bunch of other people take top 4 at Street Fighter 4.
So we're going to look at it, obviously an obvious Street Fighter 4 team match.
Yeah.
And that could be against NorCal.
I have to feel like that's going to be NorCal.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. From my memory, since I'm apparently the only one that pays attention to any of this crap, Vaya announced it on Wednesday Night Fights, if I remember correctly. It is Filipino Man, like it was mentioned before, Mark Teddy, Snake Eyes, and I believe, what's the name of the guy that plays Ken?
DRS Chris?
There you go, Chris.
So this is a 3-man team.
No, not quite.
4?
4?
Yeah.
Sorry,
It actually might have been 5. There's one that might be completely slipping my head because I don't follow SF4 that religiously, but it has definitely been announced.
Okay. So 5-on-5 regional thing. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much something that happens in like every year at SCR. So
yeah,
that's to be expected. But the fact that he booked everything up would assume that there's some other stuff that we don't normally expect to happen that is happening. You know.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that's kind of an interesting thing to see what will happen. Obviously, you know, Vi's keeping that under lock and key right now. Yeah, he's kind of keeping it. So just, you know, we'll find out, I guess, in the coming weeks. Also, obviously, we're going to find out more about NCR in the coming weeks.
Oh, the 5th member was Kino.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's right.
And then, of
yeah,
course,
let me forget the one guy I know best.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, you know, we still are awaiting the announcement on the Evo games whenever that comes.
Yes. I think Mr. Wizard tweeted out that it's coming soon, so hopefully this week.
Man, I hope so, but I would not hold my breath on it.
Yeah.
Say that much.
It's March. It's time to announce.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm worried about.
Time to announce the Evo games, June.
2 weeks before.
As long as we have 1 month before Evo, it's good.
It's true. Very true. So, I think that about wraps it up for us, right, guys?
Yeah.
I think so, because coming up next, we have the Why Me Dojo, NorCal's pretty much only remaining regular event. And it's supposed to be pretty big tonight. A lot of players showing up for Smash Brothers Melee.
And it will be streamed on, you know, you want the only I Play winner.
Yeah, you don't even have to change the channel. You can just like sit here, wait for them to start it up.
Like I said, you know, you don't have to make iPlay Winner your homepage, but you know, just leave the browser open, have a tab open on iPlay Winner at all times, you know, so you don't miss anything. Stick around.
That's how I do it, honestly.
Watch all iPlay Winner shows. Watch us. You know, there's the Fray. There's the show that sucks. There's random other stuff. You know, we
the
got
Daily Blow Up with me
Daily
and
Blow
Gary.
Up, all the streams.
But when are we streaming chess 2, Tony?
Look,
We've got to get the dev version from the
this
developer.
isn't my call. Somebody kick Alex out of the call.
Oh, actually, yeah, I forgot to bring that up. XR apparently coming out in a month. A month?
Oh yeah, it's coming out next month.
Yeah.
Wow, forgot that. Holy shit.
Yeah, I totally spaced it.
I got to be honest with you. I'm skeptical
Me too.
because it feels like they kicked the game up a month, and I'm really worried that it's not gonna be ready.
yeah, well, we can talk about this next week probably.
Yeah, we can, because I can't fit everything in 6 minutes.
So
All right.
we are going to call it a day. Stay tuned. Right after this, we're going to leave it on after the end of the show, and Alex, Mr. Sanchez, has something he wants to talk about really quick. But for everybody here at SDR, good night and good luck.
Now, go for it.
You got it there, Chris? All right. I wanted to do this separately because we have our usual joking around that we always do. And this is one of those things that honestly is not funny in any way. We've touched on sensitive subjects before here on the show, and with the things that have passed today in Dean Ice and an attempted suicide, which was luckily stopped, and he is in stable condition thanks to his mom informing us. It's something I feel worth mentioning. We were lucky enough to prevent this. If we were in any way a help, I'm really glad, and I'm glad that people realize this is something that's incredibly important and incredibly serious, did not make light of it in any way, and actually took the effort to reach out to him and get a hold of him or any of his loved ones or friends to make sure he's okay. One of the things I want to mention to people is that there's help. And for anyone that has been there and has been in a really fucking dark place in their life, or has known someone that has, and God, I hope you have never had anyone take their own life in your time, because it's a horrible, horrible experience. But know that you can help them, and know that there are resources out there. There's the National Suicide Hotline, which is something that's available for anyone. It's 24 hours a day. It can get you help. It can get you someone to talk to, which honestly, more often than not, that's what people need. Just to know that someone's out there and that someone cares. It's a 1-800 number. It's free. It's in multiple languages. It's for people that are deaf. There's a way. It's 1-800-273-8255. It's 273-TALK. There's a resource out there. There's a way to get people help. And if you happen to be friends with someone that might even be joking around about it, take it seriously. Investigate. Take some time out of your day. Point it out to someone else that might be closer to them. And let them know that you care. Let them know that you're willing to listen. Because just being patient and understanding can mean a huge difference for people. And with the way that mental illness is regarded, for the most part by everyone in a rather poor light and just kind of treated as sometimes a joke of a disease, it's important to be patient with people. When someone might try to take their own life and you may regard that as something being selfish or being weak, that is the last fucking thing you should mention. It does not help. You're speaking to someone that is coming from a position of weakness, and what they need to hear is that you care and that you understand. We're lucky today. We may not be lucky in the future. But if you take your time to just pay attention and try to help in any way you can, we can make sure this kind of shit does not happen. Thanks for listening, guys.